starting. Stream health. And we're live.
Okay, let me grab the link.
You get link.
Yep. I'm gonna switch accounts.
If I had another chance, I'd make things right.
3 people watching.
Already?
Yep.
Good. Trying to share this as fast as I can.
Ah, roll. Can you hear us? How does we sound? Check, check. Hello? Hey, Brittany's there. Hello. Rhino Gator. Sounds good. Sounds louder than last week. Very nice.
Really?
Did we even do this last week?
Yes. Yeah, we did.
You sure about that? Mm-hmm. Okie dokie. Karaoke.
It's getting easier to share a little, so.
Good.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice indeed. Mm-hmm. All right, good. We got some Virginia peeps showing up here. Super, my favorite is Brittany. Out of who all's here.
Oh.
And I don't care. How about that? Got some delicious coffee. All right, so we don't know how long this is going to last because there is a storm rolling in.
A serious one.
Yeah, lightning and all that jazz, which, you know, in New Mexico, anywhere else, storms are just storms, but here they're all catastrophic. I'm trying to adjust this microphone.
Catastrophic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I said. Mm-hmm. Are you making fun of me?
Yes.
Check, check. Chickadee. Check it. Okay, so we're joined by our special guest, Pepper, who I think really has I don't think she gives not a single crap about being here, but she's perched on top of the snazzy new red toolbox that we bought.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, are we shared everywhere and all that stuff?
Pretty much. Can you make me a mod in the chat?
I don't even see you in the chat. How about you become part of the chat? We got 6 people watching.
Ew.
Oh, there you go. Hey, did you sign in? What?
No, I didn't sign in. I was already in.
I didn't see it. You just weren't commenting. See, I can't. Okay, so there. There you go. Yeah. Don't do that. Crap. Don't. Not today.
You know what?
Get behind me, Satan.
Grumpy.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
And I can be, and I'm allowed. I pay taxes. Yeah, this is a special guest Pepper. Right here.
Pepper. Hey.
Wearing a snazzy new hoodie. Mm-hmm.
Oh, well.
All right. Brittany says, Peppy. So yeah, we've been taking her everywhere with this. She does have her. She hates the basket and likes the basket all at the same time.
Yeah.
She hates the basket because it's a basket. She likes the basket because it gets her involved, and to where she can sit up there and sulk.
Yeah.
Like the whole time.
Originally, she was going to do the whole podcast with her back to us.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Yes, we put her up. She thinks she's being punished, so we put her up there, and she just turned her back to us and just faced the wall and was like, "Screw you guys." So it is what it is. So whether she likes it or not, we're going to continue on. So we're going to go ahead and get started with the old podcast.
Yep.
So, any questions before we get started? Just raise your hand. Anybody?
Do you have a question?
No. Why would I have a question? I'm the one that asked if anybody had any questions.
Yes, but you raised your hand.
No, I was showing people what to do. Okay, if you're not going to pay attention.
I am paying attention.
Do you love me more or no? Than Pepper? Or than your sister? Huh? That's a tough question, isn't it? Well, you know what, Brittany? I do. I do love you more than Caitlin and Pepper because you're here. But now if Katie shows up, I mean, I have known you longer.
Oh, God.
I'm just saying. So, now if Katie gets here, okay, evidently. All right, for those of you who are paying attention here, Brittany is my oldest daughter and Caitlin is my youngest daughter. And evidently, this is going to cause problems.
Yes.
So, Brian's here. Hello.
Hi, Brian.
So, just in case you're curious, we bought new microphones, and I've switched to a different mixer, and we are gathering enough stuff and got everything sort of ready and sort of fine-tuning our process, if you will, to do Caitlin's trying to comment. How do I comment? To actually go out and do, like, conferences and do this stuff from the road. So, yeah, there's that. So sometimes when we have technical difficulties, aside from our, internet,
yeah,
that's probably part of it. So we're getting it sort of set up to where we gotta, get everything ready. We can go from the road, and because that's something we want to do. We want to travel around and do documentaries and all that stuff. So anyway, yeah, that's that. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. All right, you guys ready?
Yep.
All right, here we go.
I like peanut butter, I like peanut butter, peanut butter, I like peanut butter. I like peanut butter, I like peanut butter, peanut butter.
You're listening to the CreepGeeks podcast. Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download and 30-day free trial at audibletrial.com/cheapgeek. So, welcome back to the CreepGeeks podcast. It begins again. This is episode number 96.
Pilgrim UFO, Boobtraps, Four Corners Biped, and Windows 10.
Yeah. And just for a little correction there, it's supposed to say Boobytraps. Not Boobtraps, but it's a family-friendly show. We're not doing that here. We're not talking about that. You forget one Y, and it changes the rating of the show. Yeah. All right, so I apologize. So it begins again, this episode number 96, Pilgrim UFO, Boobytraps, Four Corners Biped, and Windows 10. So we are back again. So, and just like I said before, today's podcast is brought to you by Audible. If you want to listen to audiobooks or bored or whatever, and you're thinking you might want to get into it, you should give it a shot. We use them when we travel, along with podcasts and stuff like that. Very nice. So we're back again. So it is Sunday. If you were watching live, very much appreciated to people who watch the podcast. It's broadcast live via live stream on the YouTubes. And you can go to YouTubes and subscribe and follow us along there. And you can see us every Sunday as we do this. And if you're listening to the audio podcast and you've been sticking around doing that, thank you very much. And if you want, you can go and leave us a rating somewhere. It'd be very, very nice. We accept only the finest 3 to 5 star reviews. Yeah, kind of is what it is. So as we do this podcast and we do stream live, we do have people leave comments, and when they leave the comments, we try to interact with them as best we can. And like I said, if you want to join in, you certainly are more than welcome to, and we do appreciate you taking the time to come listen to 2.5 fools talk about stuff. Yeah. And the 0.5 is this one back here. We have a special guest, Pepper. Who, cannot be bothered at all. I think she's just basically given up and is laying there in her little hoodie. So, yeah. And for those of you who are watching, storms are coming here in New Mexico. Yeah. So who knows how long this is going to last. We will go as long as we can. So, there you go.
Apparently the storms are so bad that they're shutting down a lot of stuff going on tonight. So
yeah. They're just shutting it down. They're just quitting, giving up.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I saw, horizontal lightning. So that was kind of...
Yes.
Scary. So, yeah.
All right. So before the podcast starts, a lot of times we get up and we get everything all set up and we fire it up and we do a little test before we do the live stream. And aside from having a lot of people that are listening right now and watching, both the daughters are there and they're fighting over who gets loved more. And the one that got here first, of course, I'm like, yeah, I love you more. And now the second one is here and she's like, wait a minute, I'm here. And they're fighting back and forth, and I think it's amazing. So that's right. So it kind of is what it is. So there's that. All right. So we're back to the podcast again in episode number 96. When we hit 100, we're going to do something a little bit different. Don't know what that is exactly. Actually, I do. I'm just not going to tell you. But, yeah. So.
Aw, she was driving to her big sister's house so they could watch the show together.
What?
Look at that.
Why is she yelling? This is all caps. I was driving to her so we could watch together. That's nice.
Yeah.
We have a new subscriber to the channel. Welcome, Courtney.
Hi.
Yeah. It just kind of popped up on my computer. I'm like, what? She was only there first because she lives there. Okay.
Oh. So speaking of the weather and things going on, our friend Brian has been on his feet all day working an event in Albuquerque.
Called the Balloon Fiesta.
Yes. So.
How do you say it? Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta happens once a year.
Yeah.
First weekend in October.
So he's going to sit back and relax to this podcast. Yeah.
Listen to his feet cry.
Oh.
Yeah. That's that was going to be the name of When Doves Cry that Prince was working on a long time ago.
No, it wasn't.
When my feet cry. Bing, 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 bing. Let me go ahead and play that. I got that actually.
No, you don't.
Yeah. There you go. So the girls are arguing back and forth, and Brittany says, but I bought her Wendy's. Wasn't that nice how they just share stuff like that with each other?
So Jessica was asking, did I miss what's for dinner? So
no, we haven't got to that point yet.
Yeah.
Something we've been doing with the podcast is talking about what's for dinner. Like every Sunday we try to do a dinner.
Yeah.
Where we eat food. Sort of a big deal.
Yeah.
Because, nobody seems to do that anymore. I keep turning this down. It doesn't go down.
Yeah.
Weird. There we go. So, would you like to share what's for our Sunday dinner that we will eat at the end of this podcast?
It's going to be chicken and gravy over mashed potatoes.
What? Yes.
Yeah. So.
Is there any rice?
No.
Good. Yay. We eat rice a lot.
It's like chicken shepherd's pie.
Chicken shepherd's what?
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So, it's going to be good.
We have been binge watching this British show.
The Great British Baking Show.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And you know, it is pretty good.
It makes me feel like completely inferior. I should not even.
Yeah.
I am surprised I know how to boil water compared to these people. Oh,
No, you do better than that.
She had breakfast for dinner.
Well, okay, so one of so Seegers had tacos.
Yes.
Very nice. Jessica had breakfast for dinner. Very nice.
Brian
Is there
just-
cheese on that? You know there is. There's always cheese on that. So it's very nice how we share with people who watch.
Yes.
They're sharing their dinner. But yeah, we do a Sunday dinner. What we do is we do the podcast. When we get done, we eat a nice little Sunday dinner, and that's about it.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah, there's that. Chili over rice.
Oh.
Very nice. And you got to have cheese on that.
Yes, you have to.
So when it comes to chili over rice, I like to have the rice in the bowl because rice is bland and tastes like garbage to me. And I put a little bit of salt on it, like Salt Bae style, right? Drips off the forearm. And then I put the cheese on it. And then I put the chili on top of that.
Ugh. No, cheese goes on top.
Cheese can go anywhere you want.
Oh, look.
I'm a full-grown man.
Brian and Seegers and you would get along for chili, cornbread.
Yeah, I like cornbread. I grew up with cornbread.
I'm very picky
Parents are from Carolina, man. Grew up in Virginia. We had cornbread. Cornbread was our rice. Cornbread was it like, you know, that's what we ate.
very picky because some cornbread tastes funny. It actually hits my tongue weird. I'm like, this doesn't taste right. So,
You know, you are treading on
you know what?
really thin ice here.
I grew up eating
Cornbread
rice.
is delicious. And if you don't want to make cornbread like true cornbread, then just get the corn muffin mix, like the Jiffy Blue Box corn muffin mix, and turn it into what looks like a pie and call that cornbread.
Now,
and
I
that's
did-
acceptable.
I did find a cornbread recipe I'd like to try, though.
Yeah.
So,
See, now, my mom's cornbread will kill you, right?
yeah.
And you have to have tea. And my mom makes the most powerful, sugariest, sweetest tea in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty serious business. It's like, you know, it's too much for me. So when I get her tea, I add water to it.
Certain cornbreads, I think it's whatever flour or cornmeal they use.
Yeah.
It actually hits my tongue a certain way, and I taste something other than cornbread.
You taste the grease?
No.
Lard?
It's almost like I taste baking powder or baking soda. It's really weird because those are agents that are used in cornbread mixes. And depending on how it's mixed, that's all I taste. So it's kind of meh. But there's
I like cornbread.
there's some restaurant I think in North Carolina, Virginia, and part of the East Coast where they make a honey butter cornbread, and it's amazing. I will eat all of that. So, but yeah, I grew up eating rice. So yeah.
Yeah, I know. Our first couple years together, I didn't see a potato. Like not one time. I was like, please, man, just give me a damn potato. Just a mashed potato, fried. I don't give a crap. I just want a freaking potato. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, 50-pound bag of rice. Like, I'll never eat 50 pounds of rice in my lifetime. That's not true. We powered through that thing in like a month.
Yeah. That's why
No.
our
no
friend
more.
Lauren, like when we'd come back from the grocery store together, and she's like weightlifting like that big old bag of rice. That's 2 weeks rice right there.
No.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
So yeah, that's about it for dinner.
So, okay, we had a couple of visitors. We got Seegers here, Brian's here, Brittany's here, Katie's here, Jessica's here, Spoons is here, but I think he's got to go.
Yeah.
Well, they're kind of fighting in there.
Everybody's fighting in the
They're
comments.
like, fight me. You know, like fighting over cornbread and chili and all sorts of crazy stuff. So let's go ahead and get back to the podcast,
Yeah.
if you will.
This is an offbeat news podcast where we explore the strange, the stupid, paranormal, and the tech topics circulating the web.
Yes, we do like the weird, the wacky, the wonderful, and we do appreciate you tuning in.
Yes. And
So there you go.
you can always give us a call. That phone number is going to be 575-208-4025. You can either
Yes.
call us now or leave a message, whatever you'd like.
Yeah, if you call us now, I'm not going to answer because I didn't plug that up.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
My bad.
Yeah.
So,
All right, here we go. So we normally like to start off with an interesting random factoid, but I didn't put one in here, so we're not going to.
well,
Unless you have one, but I don't really necessarily have one, so it's okay.
my only factoid that I could possibly chip in is Jessica in the comments mentioned Jiffy box brand cornbread.
Yeah,
Did you
Jif.
know that? Jif?
The blue box. I believe it's Jif.
No, that's peanut butter.
Either one.
Jiffy. Anyways, they make that cornbread. I thought that's all they made for years, decades.
Oh, man.
And then I found out they make really good fudge brownie mix.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
And chocolate cake mix.
See, when I grew up,
That stuff's amazing.
that's what for brownies, I mean, that was it.
Yeah.
They just make these little, I mean.
And they have a lemon cake mix that I want to find and buy.
Yeah,
so.
like lemon. They used to have a whole bunch of other stuff too,
Yeah.
like lemon bars and stuff. But they're a little brownie mix for just being like out of the box. And I think you just have to add an egg and like a tablespoon of water or something like that here.
Oh, we have a.
Good to go.
Yeah. And Seegers in our comment thread just wanted to bounce off my interesting factoid, which is he feels cornbread is delicious. So.
Yes.
And one of our new listeners, hi Courtney, she mentioned that her husband and her have been listening to us on Spotify for the past month.
Really?
Yeah.
Yay!
That's really cool. They finally moved to YouTube and they love it. Thank you. So thank
Very
you
nice.
guys for tuning in. So
So now we lost like our one Spotify listener. No, actually, it's kind of hard to get the metrics going, but
Yeah.
we have listeners all over the place. And it's sort of a blunderbuss like effect. I don't know. We just figured if we throw it out to everywhere, somebody's going to listen or watch.
you know, everything we've talked about for the past 10 minutes and then Jessica saying she needs to bake more. Maybe we should do a weird baking podcast. Like weird, creepy. I mean, it's getting close to October and November. So
No.
yeah, I bet I could do a whole podcast about that. Okay. Like spooky haunted
Like,
cooking.
all right. Like what?
I don't know. I'd have to research it.
All right. Well, then you do that.
Yeah.
I'll just run the board
Okay.
and drink coffee and water. Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna talk about this first article.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
Well, I'm working
Yeah.
on something.
So this first article kind of ties into the whole we're in the fall season thing. There was a Pilgrim UFO sighting that came long before Roswell,
Yeah.
which is funny because a couple episodes ago I talked about the first widely reported UFO crash in America was actually someplace in Texas. Well, the
Yeah.
first, I guess, large-scale UFO sighting happened during the Pilgrim times.
That's what they say.
Yes. Now, many people believe the first UFO sightings occurred in 1947 and at Mount Rainier and then in Roswell, New Mexico. These reports caused a sensation of UFO reports and flying saucer reports in American newspapers and have led to decades of speculation. But those weren't really the first UFO sightings. According to the Puritans, they reported something way back in 1639 near present-day Boston. And it was recorded that same year by someone named John Winthrop. He was the governor of Massachusetts Bay Colony. His journal entry dated March 1st gives a detailed account of the strange events that set New England abuzz. Winthrop's story stands apart from his other, more conventional entries where he just recorded the successes and challenges faced by the Puritans. What he writes is an inexplicable lights to missing hours of time, and then unidentified flying objects. But he relates that a man named James Everell, a sober, discreet man, was rowing in a boat with two other men in the Muddy River, which emptied through a swamp into a tidal basin of the Charles River. All of a sudden, a great light came into view. According to the men, the light both hovered and then flew at high speed back and forth between their vessel and the village of Charleston, 2 miles away. As Winthrop describes it, when it stood still, it flamed up, and it was about 3 yards square. When it ran, it contracted into the figure of a swine. It ran as swift as an arrow towards Charleston, and so up and down about 2 or 3 hours. Captivated by the sight, Everell and his companions watched the speeding light for hours, yet the strangest part of the story still awaits them. According to Winthrop's account, as the men watched the light, they were coming down in their lighter boat about a mile, pushed by the tide. Yet when the light vanished, the men realized their boat had returned to its original location. They had no memory of rowing against the tide or even dropping anchor. They speculated that the light somehow transported them back to where they first started.
Yeah.
The men in the boat weren't the only witnesses to the bizarre UFO event. According to Winthrop, divers and other credible persons saw the same light after and about the same place. So that's pretty crazy.
Yes, it is. You know, normally I like to show what we're looking at, but what I realized is, and this is my bad,
Yeah.
I didn't set that up.
Well, also, you probably didn't want to show this one because part of my problem reading it is I keep getting all these different pop-ups from this site. This was actually on Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, but I mean, normally, well,
Yeah.
I can't say normally. We've done it like 5 times, maybe 3 times.
Yeah.
But yeah, for some reason, I didn't set that up, you know. Yeah, and part of that is because we've been making preparations to do a couple different things, and one is the Human Origins Conference,
Yeah.
which we have some news. Might as well tell you now. The Human Origins Conference that was supposed to happen October 12th and 13th has been postponed until possibly March.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all the stuff that we were doing to get ready for the show, the Human Origins Conference, because we were going to be doing the broadcasting live
Yeah.
from the Human Origins Conference, has been placed on hold. Yeah. And so I made a mobile podcasting setup and got it all ready. And then, yeah.
I even rushed Pepper's custom podcast swag.
Yeah. And because we were all ready, because what we found out is that when we called the place that was going to do the conference and asked them, we're like, hey, can we bring our dog? And they were like, yeah.
Yeah.
And so we were like, what? That means that Pepper has to have a custom sweater or a sweatshirt
Yes.
or hoodie or something.
She was getting a custom polo with our podcast.
Oh, that's what it was, a custom polo.
Yes. Plus
So, yeah.
rush delivery. So, which was almost the cost of the polo.
Oh.
Yeah.
So anyway, once we got everything once we figured all that out, I went back with a different setup, and I didn't set that up to share our screens with you, and for that, I
We have a
apologize.
couple of people disappointed about the Human Origins Conference, including someone who didn't like somebody's glasses.
What?
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So,
So there you go. So that is what it is, and for next time, it'll be ready.
yeah.
And see, what we were going to do, part of what we were going to do is do a couple more episodes, and then before the actual Human Origins Conference was going to be our episode number 100.
Yeah.
So that's okay. So now what we're thinking is we may do if we can get our DIY camper van put together quick enough, we may take an October trip for
Yeah.
the weekend instead. So, yeah. So I'm thinking if that works out, if we can get that done, then we may be gone for a couple days and we'll be back in time to do the show on Sunday. Or not. Dun, dun, dun.
Huh.
What, you thought we were going to be gone for like a month?
No, I
we
was
got
just
no
looking at
times.
something. Yeah.
So, yeah. So the Human Origins Conference, I do apologize. It looks like it'll be temporarily postponed until possibly March. And there. So that was some news I was going to share a little bit later, but, you know, there's no time like the present. So let's go ahead and listen to this. I thought you were going to talk. Are you not going to talk?
What am I supposed to talk about?
The show. We have notes.
Where? I don't see it.
The next thing.
Okay.
All right, anyway. This kind of ties into where we're thinking about going.
Yeah.
We're not going to tell you when or where. Actually, probably can figure it out. Don't really care. There's a place in New Mexico and Arizona and Utah and Colorado. Wait, is that right? Anyway, it's called Four Corners, New Mexico.
Yeah.
Or it's called Four Corners. Whoops. And it's where 4 states actually touch. Right? Mm-hmm. And here's what I thought was actually pretty interesting. Because I came across this the other day. I was like, what? Let me look at this.
Arizona, Colorado, New Mexico, Utah.
Okay, so I was right.
Yeah.
Evidently, an 8-foot-tall, hairy biped has been observed in Four Corners.
Ooh. Really?
Yeah. Yep.
Is this a recent report? Or
Yeah.
oh,
October 6th.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. You gonna read this one?
I thought you were going to talk about it.
No,
guess
I
not.
just read the Pilgrim one.
Okay. So basically, this actually occurred, excuse me, on Sunday, September 2nd, not October 6th. This is when somebody posted the article.
Still, that's really recent.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It says, about 11 o'clock in the morning, while driving, we saw lots of wildlife and came across a large herd of what I believe to have been sheep. I don't know why that's important to say it like that, but
Yeah.
it's like we came across a large herd of what I believe to be sheep. Right? And the odd thing about this encounter was, while driving down the highway, was a figure that all three of them saw, or was evidently three of them, that was approaching the herd. The figure was about 8 feet tall, with unnaturally long arms. They seemed to almost touch the ground. The figure was slightly hunched and standing on two legs and was walking up to the herd of sheep. And they said that the image stuck with them the entire time because I do not know what I saw.
Yeah.
Right? I am certain that it was not a trick or basically, a light trick or nature or something like that or anything like that. And boom, there they go. So this person reported this to MUFON, which is a mutual UFO network, where if you have sightings about UFOs and other weird stuff, you can actually report what you've seen, and they want the information so they can do, they investigate, and they may call and ask and talk to you and ask you all sorts of questions and stuff like that. And just in case you want to know, if you go to CreepGeeks.com, we actually put a link to being able to make sightings on the left-hand side. You can click on it, takes you to MUFON. You can make a little report if you have one.
Cool.
Yeah. I actually had to get a hold of MUFON and ask them if it would be okay if I did that. And they said if we get a bunch of weird or spurious or, untrue sightings or whatever reports, then we're going to have to ask you to take it down. And my thought was, how can you prove them? How can you prove, you know what I mean? It's like, if we get fake reports, well, how do you know? I mean, how do you know if it's a fake report or not a fake report? You can't prove the existence. Nobody has proven the existence of UFOs, Bigfoots, cryptids, or anything like that. So how would they even know it's a fake report?
Okay, so I used the UFO tracker on MUFON's website, and I was reading some reports, and one of them involved, and this was from right here in Rio Rancho, where someone claimed that not only did they see a UFO, it landed in the field behind their neighborhood, and then the aliens got out and did ninja moves on his wife and his dog. I kind of think that's a little fake there. So,
who are you to determine if A, it's fake, if 2, aliens know ninja moves, and 3, it's Rio Rancho, man. Right? So it came down and landed in the field, and they got out and they did ninja moves on my wife and my dog.
Yeah, it was like the UFO blinded me. But what I didn't realize was while I was blinded by the light, the aliens were attacking my dog and my wife with ninja moves. Yeah, I did. Nope, I'm not gonna buy that one. Okay, I kind of think that's a nefarious or not genuine
report. The UFO
report.
flew over us and sprinkled meth on us.
Yeah.
I was blinded by the meth.
So
I mean, what would you do though if you were riding by in your car and you see a field and there's like little gray ninja aliens out there trying to whoop up on
a woman and a small dog.
Yeah. Would you stop and help, or would you stop and take pictures?
I would stop and take pictures.
Yeah, you'd get out and you'd make sure all the proper settings are there, right? And so I'm gonna take the best alien ninja beating up on a woman dog picture ever.
Yes.
And it would be beautiful, and what would happen? They'd say, this shit is fake. And you would be like, you're reporting fake stuff. Like, how could this picture be so good? Like, I use a good camera. I know what I'm doing. Oh, whatever. That proves it. That proves you're a fakery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But, I mean, I can see this, because if you go riding by, going back to the sighting, right? Mm-hmm. And you see sheep or whatever, I mean, walking, big long arms, hunched over a little bit, about 8 feet tall, right? Walking.
Can you get to Four Corners from Taos?
I think you can get to Four Corners from anywhere, really.
Yeah. But, I mean, I think the sheep they're talking about are probably like those big horned sheep and stuff like that. And I've heard of reports in the past where like
it could have been elk,
yeah,
depending on how far away they were.
Yeah, like where a big giant hairy biped starts walking towards sheep and then starts herding it, or just petting them,
You
things
mean like
that.
hurting it, like punching it, or
No, not ninja attacking them, like hurting them almost like a shepherd.
like hurting them?
Yes.
Well, yeah. Wouldn't you want to do that too, so you can eat them?
No.
I mean, who says that Bigfoot's a vegan or not? Nobody knows, right?
I don't know.
I would assume he eats whatever he can get a hold of.
True.
You know, probably eat some vegetables, bugs, vegetation,
Yeah.
apples. They love apples. Apple pie, maybe.
Well,
Whatever
yeah.
they can steal.
I don't think they're going to steal a whole herd of sheep, though. So,
Maybe they, you never know.
but the fact that they saw this while driving, I mean, I don't know. Maybe they could have slowed down, and took a picture, or
I don't know. Sometimes you're whizzing down the road, and you do this to me all the time. Oh, did you see that? Like, no, of course I didn't see that. I'm driving.
yeah.
Yeah. Who knows?
Okay.
What do you think about that?
I think that's
This is the
interesting.
kind of crap that when you're going down the highway on a trip and you're just kind of watching, looking off in the scenery, and you're like a little kid in the back seat or whatever, and you see something amazing, and you go to tell your parents, and they're like, "Shut up, be quiet back there. You were supposed to be asleep," or they just like, "Oh, that's great," and they just keep on going because by the time you say it, you're already past it.
True.
So I don't know. That reminds me of this one time I was on a trip,
Yeah.
and the kids were asleep in the back, and we actually stopped at like Dairy Queen.
Yeah.
Because they were passed out and got ice creams and drove away. And they were none the wiser until they woke up. And they were all mad. Like, what? What happened? How come we didn't get ice cream? It's like, you guys were asleep. We didn't think you were going to wake up. They were very angry about that.
I'd be angry too.
So,
Like if you went and got ice cream or something delicious and I was just conked out, I'd be bitter.
I know.
I'd be so
they were
bitter.
too. It's just as bad as like sneaking a candy bar in a bathroom because you don't want to share.
Shut up.
Yeah.
That's because certain dogs wanted it. Okay?
I know. Same thing with kids, man. It's like you used to leave a cat paw underneath the bathroom door. It's the same thing with little kids. Their little fingers. Like, and, they get real mad when you like hit them with like, stop it. Psh. Or if you sprinkle little treats in their little hands like dish soap or bathroom soap, they get mad too. I'm just saying.
Brian says that's child abuse.
Only if you get caught, sir. And no, it's not. It's called, what it is? It's getting tough into the world, man. Life's tough. Wear a helmet.
Snooze, you lose. That's not fair.
Yep. Good times.
Yeah.
Yeah, good times.
I don't know. So if when we go on our big giant road trips, am I just supposed to have a camera ready
Yeah.
all the time?
All the time.
Because that just made me think, wait, we're going to be passing through and traveling to all these weird places, remote places, much like where they were doing, going to Four Corners. There's a whole lot of nothing and a whole lot of just stuff. So you're probably going to see some weird things. I'm going to have that battery charged and the camera on at all times.
Well, I do have a front and rear dash cam.
So if you hit Bigfoot,
Well, no, but I mean, it has a 170-degree field of view. Its
Yeah.
quality is pretty decent. It sees front and rear. And I was actually thinking about hooking up a 4-camera DVR system that runs all the time.
oh,
It's an awful lot of work, though.
yeah,
Yeah.
true.
But, if I seen something like that, I'd lock the brakes up. We'd be on the side of the road trying to take pictures.
Yeah.
Or I'd get Dairy Queen. Very nice. So, you go through and you see something, you're trying to figure out what it is, don't know what it is, and you're like, oh, man. And then you describe somebody that's pretty great. You're like, man. And then people are like, well, you're crazy, right? Mm-hmm. Well, a bunch of people seen some weird stuff, right?
Yeah.
And they seen this black triangle aircraft that was spotted above Seattle.
Oh,
And they're
Yeah.
like, whoa, what is this black triangle aircraft? It's like a UFO.
it's a kite, right?
No, it's just basically a U.S. Air Force surveillance aircraft. In other words, it's actually a jet shaped like a triangle.
Oh,
Yeah. So when the UFO conspiracy theorists are telling you, no, you didn't see a UFO, you're actually just seeing an aircraft, an Air Force surveillance aircraft.
yeah.
That's pretty bad. You know what I mean? Yep. So what? You didn't like that?
No, I think it's interesting, though, because this article, I just posted the link in the comments for everyone who's tuning in live. the link shows the pictures taken by everybody else,
Yes.
which are...
There's a clip, too. It's called Triangle UFO, or TR-3B, filmed in Seattle.
Yeah. But then they show, towards the bottom of the article, the Lockheed Martin F-117A Nighthawk, which looks like it could easily be mistaken as a triangle.
It is, yeah.
If it were high enough, you know?
Yeah.
And in fact, one of these pictures, it looks like, oh, they just got it at a very good angle, because this is totally what this thing is.
Yeah.
So I think it's good to be thorough and debunk things like this. At least we know what not to be worried about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and people see black triangles all the time.
Yeah, we
and
get
they're saying they become like relatively common in recent years.
Yeah, actually, we get a lot according to MUFON out here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that would make sense because, I mean, we have stealth bombers, we have stealth aircraft, like the 117 and all that stuff, you know, kind of fits in that category, and you're going to see them. You didn't used to see them all the time because they're a secret, right?
Yeah.
And you had to be living next to a military base, but I mean, you know, there's enough of them's been built, and there's a lot of their own military bases now, so you're going to see them.
Yeah.
And the TR stands for Tactical Reconnaissance, by the way.
Oh.
Just in case you're wondering. Yeah, and they're like saying, according to some claims online, this class of aircraft was first used during the 1991 Gulf War to pick out targets for stealth bombers. Well, yeah, that shit was on TV. Of course it was. And I remember this. I was there. It's like, hey, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I say, of course, there's no proof that these planes actually exist, but they remain subject to almost relentless internet speculation.
Well, this plane was...
It's right there. It's the Type 117. You can see it. So what's the problem?
So
it looks like a freaking triangle.
The plane was invented in 1981, but it's first introduced 1983. It got retired in April 2008, supposedly. So...
That doesn't mean they stopped flying the aircraft. That just means they ain't making no more.
Yeah.
Or the order is not there
It's
anymore.
like no longer in production.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But to, you know, conspiracy theory, it was used in the Gulf War. Well, yeah. I mean...
That's like people are like, if you go up to the gate or the fence at Area 51, the guards will make you leave. It's like, yeah, they do that with every military installation. You know? You can't just be hanging around. You know, they don't want you to trespass. That's the last thing that the military dudes want you to do is trespass. Because you know why? Because then they got to take you in, they got to question you, got to do a bunch of paperwork and all that stuff. No, they don't even want you on the base. So why not send somebody out there and go, look, dude, don't trespass. And there are places, military installations, like weapons depots and all that stuff, where the use of deadly force is authorized. Like if you come in there and you got a hammer and you're trying to go swing on some weapons or something, if you can get to them, they're going to shoot you. So people act just like, oh my God, what are they hiding? They're not hiding anything. They're trying to keep your dumb ass from going over and causing problems. Most military guards and all that stuff, they don't want to deal with all that stuff. To them, it's an aggravation. It's like all you want to do is stand your watch and get done with it. Yes. So there you go. People responding to and reporting a triangle-shaped UFO have been debunked by the UFO conspiracy people. They're like, yeah, that's a spy plane. Okie dokie. So.
Yeah.
Yep. What do you think about that?
I think I like that.
I think that's why I put that in there. It's like, oh, when UFO conspiracy people are like, no, that's a spy plane.
No.
Like, what is it? That's like that guy in North Carolina, remember?
Yeah.
I spotted something I can't explain, and then Goodyear was like, yeah, that was us. It's a blimp. We're a Goodyear blimp. And he's like, I don't think so. And they're like, no, really, that was us. And they're like, nope. No, I don't think so.
That's denial.
I'll see it with my own eyes and make my own determination. You already did, and you thought it was something weird. It's just a blimp, dude. You know what I mean? It's like, nope. So there you go. So there's that. We're going to play some music real quick.
Okay.
Since I'm paying for it.
Oh.
I'm taking a second and leaving a message. Woke up this morning and ready to go.
Oh, I like this. I forgot about
Look at my
this.
phone. Hey, new episode of the CreepGeeks podcast. Peanut Butter Guy. Excellent. Get to drive to work with Greg and Omi. So I'm getting ready. I'm driving to work. Problem is, 47 minutes. It ain't going to work, man. It's an hour and 20 minutes to work. So here I am, 20 miles out. This is the boy.
I was going to play some music, but I hit the wrong key. And what that was somebody who I think is still in the chat who is complaining that our podcasts weren't long enough.
Yeah.
Like that had some kind of effect on the length of our show.
Shh.
I think the next show we did was like 2 hours and something long.
Yeah.
I can tell you this. We've been doing some really long shows, and we're not going to be doing them as long.
Oh.
We can't do like a 2.5 hour show.
Yeah.
No.
Because the chicken burns.
Yeah, get hungry. We're like, man, get some dry chicken. And then you have to lie. How was it? Oh, it was great. It was dry, like my boot.
Anyways.
Boot.
Yeah.
Okay, so hey, you're listening to Cheap Geek Podcast. We're going to take a second and take a little bit of break, and we'll be right back. So listen to this. Scary Halloween music. Jalapeno. Can you say that with me? Jalapeno.
No.
Yes.
Audible is an audio entertainment that entertains, educates, and inspires. For you, the listeners of the CreepGeeks podcast, Audible is offering a free audiobook download with a free 30-day trial to give you the opportunity to check out their service. To download your free audiobook today, go to audibletrial.com/cheapgeek. Again, that's audibletrial.com/cheapgeek for your free audiobook.
That's nice. Very, very nice. Good job. That's nice.
Anyways.
All right, so thanks for listening to Cheap Geek Podcast. Sorry, CreepGeeks Podcast. We're back. Had to drink some water.
Yeah. Or Pepsis.
Yes. Mm-hmm. No, I didn't have a Pepsi. I had water and my coffee. Mm-hmm. What did Pepper have?
Hate and discontent.
Yes. Hate and discontent. Very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just reading the comments where the girls are mad
Yeah, they
about the
are.
whole Dairy Queen thing. Very nice. Very, very nice. All right, so moving back into the podcast, so we're going to talk about a couple different things, and the first thing we're going to talk about is what?
Oh, this is a part of your rant,
Yeah.
which is Microsoft delays latest version of Windows 10 after reports of mass file deletion.
Yeah.
Are you kidding? It's ridiculous.
So what happened was, okay, so you don't have much choice in the updates, and I've complained about this before.
Yeah.
A couple different times because it's, screwed me multiple times. Like, no, I don't want your update. My computer works. It's like, oh, how is your computer working? Is your computer working great? And I'm like, yeah, man.
Which is
It's
funny.
working good. And then they're like, oh, well, let's fix this with an update.
Yeah.
Right? So basically what it boiled down to is they temporarily halted the rollout. This is Microsoft. Of the October 2018 update for Windows 10, which they're calling version 1809, writing in a page dedicated to the update that they need to investigate isolated reports of users missing some files after updating. I like how they say some files. Right?
Some.
Yeah. So the update, which is a major revision to Windows 10 that includes tools like Cloud Clipboard, phone mirroring software, and all this other stuff, has resulted in mass file deletion from user directories, as well as less alarming issues like incorrect CPU usage in Task Manager,
Oh, gosh.
broken audio drivers, broken graphics card drivers, and here's where it gets kind of crazy, right? One user on a Microsoft support board claimed to have lost 220 gigabytes of files.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So the problem is...
Lawsuit.
No, I mean, who are you going to sue if you use it at your own risk? All this stuff has always been that way.
Though. Yeah.
Yeah, and then as you know, CNET noted that some users reported that even using hard drive recovery software would not allow them to wouldn't allow them to find more than a portion of the missing data. So, this person on Twitter, his name is Kevin, right? He says, heads up to anyone updating Windows. Apparently, if you have documents saved in your user directory, right?
Yeah.
Like user/CheapGeek or CreepGeeks or whatever, and not OneDrive, the update will delete everything in that location. So if your documents or pictures don't have a OneDrive symbol, you need to migrate it immediately. I don't use OneDrive because OneDrive is a piece of shit.
And it also, I lost a year's worth of stuff from them.
So according to this, with this update, say if I don't have the OneDrive and it's just, let me go ahead and clear it out. Because what it does is it puts the update files there and then does the update as it overwrites and then deletes it. So your documents folder can get deleted and all of your personal documents like Word docs, spreadsheets, pictures, whatever, can disappear.
I'm not looking forward to that at all. Kind of glad they delayed it. Did you see the other user who started tweeting?
Yeah, but it gets even worse than that. You don't have a freaking choice in these updates anymore. That's the problem I have with the whole thing.
Which I was in a comment.
I would turn that stuff off because I don't need it. If my computer is working fine, why do I need your update? I don't want it.
And I was in a comment thread.
They should get sued for that.
Some listeners about that, and they're like, well, you can just turn the updates off.
No, the hell
you
can't.
No, you can't. You cannot turn the updates off.
No.
And that's as of what was it, May or June or even
it's
before
as
that?
of Windows 8, like the third release or whatever it was.
And I have tried turning Windows updates off. You know what happens?
It does it anyway.
It slows down your computer to the point where it says, I'm sorry, this computer's not performing. You have to get these updates in order to basically retain using your computer.
And you know, I don't mind it if it's not going to cause problems, if it becomes a necessary evil. Like the same thing with like Apple, you don't have a choice either.
Yeah.
But damn, if you're going to delete all my personal, if you're going to delete the reasons why people store stuff on computers, that's a freaking problem. And you're not just, we've had people lose some files. They're really underplaying that.
Well, like this thing, this laptop here.
Yeah.
This broken audio thing that they're talking about, I already started experiencing that back in April. Actually,
well, it'll do an update and say, wait, the driver that you're using, you didn't want that driver.
Yeah.
You want this driver that's out of date and doesn't work towards your stuff.
Oh, you know what driver?
Graphics is even worse, man.
The driver that's on this right now is the Epson projector that I used once on this thing for an event.
It's just, it's stupid. Like, you know, I have the same problem with this. It's i7, right? 7th generation.
Yeah.
You know, it's running the NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1050 Ti, I think.
Yeah.
Nice graphics on it. I can edit 4K video. Not when I do a Windows update, because it's like, you don't want that driver. Let's go and revert you back to some crappy Intel graphics driver chipset. I like Microsoft. I do. And I like, to some degree, iOS and Mac OS. I do. But, you know, don't force stuff like updates if your updates are going to break my shit. That's all there is to it. You know, you should give me the option. And it should say, hey, your computer's working fine. Do you want an update or not? And then when you say, no, I don't want to update, then they could say, okay, well, then you agree to whatever risk or whatever may happen. It's like, stop. I mean, I have never had this many issues with Windows in general since they've started forcing the updates. You know? I'm talking to you.
I am, and I'm talking to somebody in the comment thread.
Well, what are you saying?
This person says, can't you turn off updates via the registry?
No, you can't.
And I'm saying...
Who asked that question?
Jay.
No, dude, you can't, because the registry, the way it used to be designed, right, with Microsoft, back before the registry got changed with the kernel, because the kernel itself got changed, whenever you did a reboot on your computer, like if you made a change and you had to go through and you installed something or uninstalled something, you had to do a reboot, that was to remove things or add things into your registry where it gets saved, right?
Yeah.
So regedit would save the latest version. Now the way they do it with this on-the-fly stuff, where it's like you don't have to restart your computer after you do programs or installations like that.
Yeah.
Because the way they change the kernel, it changes the way the registry actually works. So you can go in there and try to turn it off. It doesn't matter because the registry and how it's seen by the kernel is completely different.
And
the kernel itself has commands that overwrites the settings that you put in the registry to make certain things happen.
And the kernel will rebuild itself upon any actual reboot from any other updates or changes.
And that's all part of like the VMware that they're using for, hey, if you want to bring your own device to work, all the network guys and the enterprise level tech stuff that they do, they can set all this stuff up to where even if you took more like work computer home and then tried to delete some stuff or reboot some stuff, it'll rebuild a registry, drivers, all of that stuff. So it's a backdoor that they put in there a long time ago to allow people to actually be able to use their devices, right? So the registry, no. In other words, no, you can't do that.
Wasn't it 8.1 where they really started to do that on-the-fly registry
No, it was
modification thing?
No. It was like a second or third major Super Tuesday update for Windows 8. It was like 8.3 would be your version. Instead of like just Windows 8, it was like, I can't remember what number it was.
So, yeah, I do like one of these comments, though, because some guy has been so hurt by these Windows updates. I mean, like, okay, what about if I got a ton of great footage of Bigfoot and put it on my computer and suddenly it's gone, you know?
Doesn't matter. I mean, what if it's like you're
editing a podcast at 2 o'clock in the morning?
You put, like, maybe it's your kid pictures, right?
Yeah.
Because the way these things are these days is that nobody takes pictures and prints them out anymore. So you store them all on your computer, what happens?
Yeah.
You lose them all.
Well, this person actually created a Twitter account, and the name of it is Windows 10 Deleted My Cat.
It's ridiculous, man.
He's gone on to say basically his My Documents folder got deleted somehow, causing all of my personal documents to disappear. This is on an NVMe SSD with trim, all gone.
See?
Yeah. Yeah. So.
What makes me so angry personally is that I don't mind the updates. They're there. I get it. It's necessary evil. But when they cause issues, that's where I have a problem. Mm-hmm. And when it comes to your personal documents and all that stuff, it's like you here's where it gets even more nefarious. It even will hit your documents. Okay, say if you've got things, even if you have an SSD drive or a secondary drive where you store stuff, if you're a user account on that drive, it'll hit your documents folder there as well. All right.
That's invasive.
Well, I mean, this one I have a 512 gig SSD. Mm-hmm. And I also have a 2 terabyte drive in here as well. Right? Did you know that? And I have my documents folder. I have them in 2 different places. I have them on, the SSD, which is my primary operating system. And then I also have it on the terabyte backup, on the 2 terabyte drive as well. Yeah. It gets them from both places. That's what I don't like. So now, for a lot of our documents, I have them saved to Google Drive. If you think for 1 second I'm going to store all that crap in OneDrive, you're crazy. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
Angers me.
So that's
the kernel was a lie. It's like, we have to base this off the NT kernel now. And that's the problem with Microsoft and USB. Back in the olden days where you had to use software to safely eject your USB devices, that's because they didn't think that USB was going to become popular way back in the day. They didn't build support for it in the kernel. So then they had to write programs, right? So that's like when Microsoft, you'd plug in a USB device multiple times on all your USB ports, and you get these things called ghosts, where basically it thinks that the USB device that you plugged in is still there. And then it goes, which one do you want? You want camera number 1, camera number 2, camera number 3? So you'd see these, you go into your device manager, right?
Yeah.
And you take a look and say, well, I don't show any device at all plugged in there. But then when you went looking deeper and looking where your USB root hub and all that stuff is actually stored, you would see camera with a parentheses 26 next to it. Where that driver, that instance, that hardware / USB instance had been seen and categorized and cataloged by your operating system 26 times. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, and that's why it wouldn't say, why would you want to use your camera? It's already here. Why would you want to use your mouse? It's already here. Why would you want to, because it couldn't let it go because it's hot swappable. You plug it in, it finds it, detects it, uses it. When you unplug it, it lets it go. It's supposed to clear out the USB root hub. Nope. Because they didn't build the support into the kernel. So when you unplugged it, it stayed there. And you see people trying all this crazy stuff. And I used to tell them, hey, man, just do this. Save all your open documents hold the power button down. Don't do a start, shut down, restart, when the only thing that actually does is save the previous state the computer's in, which is one of garbage.
Yeah.
Just hold down the freaking power button. And when it goes to a complete boot, again, it has to check each instance to look for voltage on the USB ports. And when it didn't find any voltage, it'd say, nothing's here, and clear it out. And then you could plug in your device and it would work. Because they didn't build support for it in the kernel. It's been an issue. Now, they've kind of taken care of that, but now they're doing all this other weird stuff. It's like, fix it, man.
Just
leave me alone.
Give me an operating system that I can do what I need to do.
Sadly, and people are going to be like, well, that's why you should use Linux. And all you Linux nerds can shut up. Because basically, Linux ain't no better, and you have to build your own drivers, all that stuff. I mean, sure, it's gotten a lot better, and it's all crowdsourced and user-supported. No.
Okay.
Because for being as bad as it is, right?
Yeah.
Windows actually works very well. And for all you iOS users / Mac OS users out there, you ain't got to know better. I don't want to hear it either. Because they'll change the operating system, then all your devices don't work, and you have to wait for your third-party devices to get caught up, which may take a year or two. And Apple's solution is, well, just go ahead and buy another dongle, man.
Well, my range.
Like they took the CD drive away,
Yeah.
the CD / DVD drive away, and then they sold you your operating system backup on a disk. And you're like, well, how am I? If you ever lose your operating system, you can just reinstall it with this OS disk, your system's disk. But I don't have a drive. Well, you can buy one from us. So they took a drive away and then gave you the disk. It's like, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, my rant is nowhere near as bad as this, so.
It really angers me.
Yeah. Mine is
just leave me the hell alone.
silly,
I get it fixed and then they break it.
but we were talking about Google and how we've been using Google as our backup. Google Drive, Google
Yeah.
Docs, Google Photos.
You might as well jump in bed with Google because
Yeah.
they're all of them are just no good for you.
Yeah, but at least Google puts stuff, leaves it there, and just gives me friendly, non-invasive reminders.
Yeah.
So, but this thing kind of teed me off a bit, not necessarily about Google, but that Google is caving.
Yeah.
And this is the fact that Google, they removed the egg from the salad emoji. Yeah.
Yeah.
Google removes egg from salad emoji to make it more inclusive for vegans.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but that's dumb. I mean, I appreciate Google. I appreciate Android. I love everything they're doing with.
I'm a vegan and an egg pisses me off in an emoji.
And I understand Google is about being inclusive. I support that. But it's
I still like the chocolate pudding emoji.
It's not a chocolate pudding emoji. Anyways.
Yes, it is.
This is taking it too far. It's a salad emoji. It's digital. The vegans aren't going to eat it. Everybody can recognize what a salad is. Now, I mean, for all I know, this could be a bowl of lawn clippings with 2 tires in it.
Which is what I call salad.
But just to remove one single group of pixels in a digital emoji used on phones and in chat programs, just to make other people feel better, and a very small fraction of people,
Yes.
is a little too far. I'm sorry, it is.
Yes, it is.
And
That's how it starts.
it's just an emoji. They're not. Are vegans not allowed to touch emojis that have meat in them?
No.
That's stupid. This is beyond stupid. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Gonna eat my Would you stop?
I like to eat my vegans over a crackling fire.
So, anyways, Google plans to introduce 157 new emojis to the Android P Beta 2 when it's released later this year. Part of this push is for diversity, so they edited the salad emoji.
It's just salad. I don't understand.
Yeah.
That egg offends me. But yeah, I guess that's just the way the world is changing.
Now,
right?
this isn't the first time
It is how the world has
they've
changed.
edited an emoji, which I find even sadder. Due to complaints, the the company finally responded about the placement of cheese in its burger emoji, redesigning it to go over the burger
Okay, well, that's the where it's supposed to be.
instead of over the bun.
Yes.
Okay, that's a bit far.
No. No, it's not. You need to put the cheese on top of the burger patty
So theirs was
so that the heat melts it and it runs down the side of the burger and not down the bun on the floor. Plus, it's there for structural integrity. That's why you put pickles on top of that to get because the serrated edge of the pickles.
no. If you
locks it
put
all
the
in place.
cheese at the bottom of the burger, below the burger, it's still hot enough to melt onto that last thing.
It becomes a mess.
It also catches the tomato as well as any condiments that you put at the top of the burger.
No.
So that's why it's down there.
That's not-
And it
no.
makes sense.
Savage.
It's
No.
practical.
It is not practical.
It
It's
is
wrong.
practical. I support Google.
They made the change because it was right to make the change.
No, you're so wrong.
Structural integrity.
All right. So, and see, look, even Brittany agrees with me. I like egg in my salad, so there. See, put the egg back in the salad.
You can put the egg back in the salad. I don't care, but the cheese goes on top of the burger patty.
No, structural integrity.
How do we ban Steve? He's like, yuck, tomato. I like tomatoes. We must ban him.
Tomatoes are the best. So, I cannot believe you.
What?
Eat your melty burger, that soggy burger.
No, it's not.
Ugh.
Besides, that's what the burger patty does, is it leaks down, right?
Just because people have been doing it wrong.
So if you have it on, no, if you have the burger on top of the bun, the juice goes into the bun, and the
Ew.
cheese melts over the top of it. Your way, the grease from the delicious burger mixes with the cheese and makes a soupy, terrible mess.
No, not if you use the right cheese.
No, try it.
I have.
Next time you get a hamburger, flip it upside down, which you be doing the same thing and eat it. When it becomes a terrible mess, and you got juices running down your elbow.
No, because you have gravity
prove my point.
affecting. No.
No.
No, because if you flip it.
You can't use science.
No, because.
I'm going to use pseudoscience. Well,
No,
gravity
you can't
says.
flip the burger over. Your argument is terrible because if you just flip the burger over, you just put the tomato and the lettuce upside down, which of course is going to melt. It's not going to go upward into the cheese.
Okay. No.
You're wrong.
I am not wrong. You're fighting a losing argument here. It's like, okay, that's great. That's great.
Anyways.
Well, now there's a bacon argument. Like, where does the placement of the bacon go? It doesn't matter where it goes, as long as you got it. Don't be to me. That doesn't work.
prefer-
You're wrong.
No.
Hey, if you think Omi's wrong, send her an email
Hey.
at omi@creepgeeks.com. Go ahead. Tell everybody how right you are.
Why don't you just fix your mic?
I am. I'm taking care of business right now. I'm taking a second to leave a message.
Jay has a perfect answer. Bacon goes everywhere on the burger. That's where it goes.
That's
Everywhere.
why I said it doesn't matter.
Yep.
As long as it's there. I just think I'm having problems.
Okay.
Keep talking.
About.
Whatever.
Oh, Steve says I'm wrong. How do I ban Steve?
Steve is totally wrong.
He says I'm wrong.
Guess who's wrong, Steve? Steve's wrong.
He's agreeing with you,
Who?
Steve.
Oh, I don't know what's going on.
Okay, yeah.
There we go.
You know what?
Wrong.
No, I'm not.
Okay, so somebody in here says, Omni, you're wrong. All right.
Ooh, patty, cheese, bacon. Okay. Maybe.
That's how it's supposed to go.
But then again, I don't like tomato on my burgers. So,
You and Steve.
yeah.
Jalapeno.
I can't.
So,
We went to a local place out here, or not local. It's basically out on the East Coast. It's Hardee's. Out here, it's called Carl's Jr. and they had a
Carl's Jr.
jalapeno burger, and there were more jalapenos than patty on the burger, and I was just a little upset with that. So, because I can't do that much jalapeno.
Jalapeno.
So, yeah.
All right, so moving back into the podcast after we took care of that argument. Mm-hmm. Guess who was wrong?
You. Yep.
So here we go. This other rant that you had, do you want to talk about how Sasquatch enters the political race? The political ad features Bigfoot calling out the elusive candidate.
I'll put the link in the comments for everybody. But basically, I found it very interesting that I've been watching political ads, not because I have a choice, but because, channels like Hulu and other things, CBS, they're starting to play them now. And they're on the radio this time of year, so you can't escape them. And they all sound exactly the same thing, except at the end of it, it says Democrat or Republican or now, Libertarian. They're all exactly the same, so people are trying to find ways to make their ads more different. This guy accomplished that by basically calling out the other candidate as being elusive and using Bigfoot during an interview in this commercial to say that, I thought I was good at hiding. Check out this candidate, because this candidate never really shows up for public town hall meetings for over 7 years, which is kind of weird. All of his presences have been very staged type situations. So this other candidate, he's like, look, it's, these are facts. This guy never shows up. But he tried to use humor, and he tried to use it using Bigfoot. So, I don't know. I don't know what to say about it. I feel weird because I kind of feel like it's manipulating a topic to make a funny point.
That's politics.
I know, but...
You manipulate stuff to make a point. Sometimes it's funny. Mostly it's just sad. And it angers you. Hence the, let's take gross eggs out of the salad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Whether or not the ad is
No,
effective.
you're like, how dare you impugn Bigfoot
Yeah.
to apply to your political gain?
But then, the Bigfoot, at the end of this, the Bigfoot talks about how this particular candidate never shows up for anything. And then he says, so take it from me, Bigfoot, the other candidate, he really exists. Ha ha ha,
Ah, that's funny.
Yeah. So,
Well, it's like there's a Walmart commercial where they talk about like you can get your pickup or whatever, like when you buy your stuff and you come pick it up.
yeah.
And they had the Sasquatch from Jack Link's working the pickup lane, remember?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
But this is politics, I don't know. I kind of like the Jack Link's commercials. Because I think, Bigfoot would eat jerky.
You probably eat sheep.
So, but I don't know.
Well, okay then.
No, we don't need anybody to dress up as Bigfoot for us. So I'm responding to a comment.
What would they be doing? I don't understand.
I don't know. Be our mascot?
No. We have this one right here.
Yeah. Hey. Aw.
She doesn't give us a single crap.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I just want Sasquatch to get a more reputable, a better reputation than just being the blunt end of a joke or something. I don't know. Butt end of a joke, I should say.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, there's people out there seriously hunting for him. We did watch... we've been catching up on different shows and watching different things. We did watch the whole series that Survivor Man did on Bigfoot. Which is really interesting.
Yeah.
And I like adding that type of legitimacy.
I like him
to
better
the subject.
than the other survival guys.
Yeah.
I did like the what was the barefoot guy? Cody?
Yeah.
I didn't like him. I liked his buddy
Yeah.
in the first. Because Cody's like this
Barefoot hippie.
yeah, and the other guy's like ex-military. I like the ex-military guy. But anyway, I do like Les Stroud in his whole Survival Man series.
Yeah.
Over somebody like Bear Grylls, who's like, we've been trapped, we've been lost for 12 hours. I must drink my own urine, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So
Caitlin says I'd grab beef jerky too if I was on the run. I'm like, yeah.
heck yeah, man.
But that's the thing with Bigfoot. I mean, I like certain things that get used for marketing. This one I just didn't. I kind of felt it was a little disrespectful in the sense that they're not helping the argument.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
I feel you. Okay, so here's something I thought was actually pretty funny.
Yeah.
It's really not funny, but it's kind of funny. Right?
Yeah.
Because you talk about the on the political ad in like Minnesota or whatever. Well, this is kind of from Oregon, right? Oregon man surprises authorities with Indiana Jones style booby traps.
Oh, instead of boob traps?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, I gotta. They had me at Indiana Jones style booby traps, right? I'm like, oh, I gotta see what's up with this guy.
Yeah.
So in this dude's picture, you should put a link in there. It's pretty funny, but the guy's name is Gregory Lee Rodvelt.
Uh-huh.
And he's accused of assaulting an FBI agent with a wheelchair-rigged shotgun shell. Okay? So evidently he rigged up a wheelchair with a shotgun shell, which is not good. I mean, somebody could have got, like, more seriously hurt. But the fact that this guy made booby traps, and they don't really say why. Okay, so an FBI bomb squad technician was injured by a blast while searching a property rigged with multiple booby traps.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
Including one that seemed like something out of an Indiana Jones movie. So there was court documents filed, and it says FBI agent was named Jeffrey Gray. He described the house, and this is they give the address, as a fortified stranglehold, or stronghold, I should say. The gated residence had barred windows, heavy-duty security doors, an elaborate network of tripwires, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like, okay. So he's got his house booby trap. So authorities were contacted August 29th by real estate attorney Joseph Charter, right?
Yeah.
Because a Josephine County judge had tasked Carter with selling the 15-acre property.
Oh.
Okay, so this is a property dispute.
Yeah.
All right. So when he went and showed up, this guy, Charter, so he was allegedly greeted by a sign warning the property was protected by improvised devices.
Okay.
So it's like, okay. So he's been warned, right? So the property's former owner, Gregory Lee Rodvelt, had been forced to forfeit the property, as part of a 2016 elder abuse case involving his 90-year-old mother.
Okay.
Yeah. So Rodvelt, who was reportedly jailed in Arizona last year after an armed standoff with police, had recently returned to Oregon to prepare the property for transfer. All right.
Yeah.
So he's like, all right, if I got to give it up, I'm going to booby trap it. So on September 7th, FBI agents and Oregon State Police troopers went to the property to search for explosive devices, and authorities encountered their first obstacle in the driveway just inside the front gate.
Oh.
You know what it was?
What?
Somebody had parked a minivan across the driveway so you can prevent the vehicles from passing into the property. Upon closer inspection of the minivan, state and federal bomb technicians discovered the vehicle had been rigged with several steel-toothed traps.
Oh, my God.
Like bear traps that you'd use for wild animals. Right? So it's like, oh, don't reach around there, you get bit by a bear trap, right? So technicians rendered the trap safe, proceeding into the property. Near a second gate by the residence was a circular hot tub sitting on its side. Right?
Yeah.
And the tub was rigged so that if the gate had been opened, a mechanical trigger would have been activated, causing the spa to roll towards the gate. Remember the ball, the big stone ball in Indiana Jones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God. That's so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, right? Mm-hmm. After that had been deactivated, and nobody had to outrun a giant rolling down the hill.
Oh, they have a picture of it, too, you guys. So
yeah, it's sad.
click on the link that I put in the comments.
Yeah. So, after running away from the rolling down the hill hot tub, right?
Yeah.
Then next was the wooden rat trap. Okay, so the trap allegedly been altered to accommodate a shotgun shell. But the trap wasn't set, so the trap would go off and I guess shoot the shotgun shell. So that was kind of scary. Right?
Yeah.
So after cleaning the property inside the home, the bomb squad technicians used a small explosive charge on the front door to gain entry into the residence. Upon entering the home, the technicians noticed a suspicious length of monofilament fishing line running between the door and the door jamb.
Yeah.
And a wheelchair was parked nearby. When the wheelchair was moved forward, unknown by who moved it, an explosion occurred.
Oh, God.
The blast, according to court documents, was very loud, and a state trooper later recalled hearing someone say, "I'm hit." and then noticed a significant amount of blood coming from an FBI bomb squad technician.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a picture of Rod Velt's mugshot. Looks kind of sad. Mm-hmm. Right? The wounded technician, who's not identified in the court documents, was transported to a hospital. He was treated and released. Right? And so a search warrant revealed that a wheelchair trap included a 410 gauge shotgun shell. God. And Rod Velt, who's the culprit behind the potentially deadly devices, was arrested in Arizona on September 8th, where he was charged with assault on a federal officer.
Yeah.
Questioned about the existence of additional booby traps on the property, you know what Rod Velt said? Mm-hmm. He said, I wouldn't not race right in. So, yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I think that's terrible. I mean, okay, I understand legal law disputes. It's pretty messy. But to go so far as to put that much effort into injuring anybody who comes onto this land after the situation's pretty much been determined, that's pretty awful.
Yeah.
Because now he can get double charged, and he doesn't have the property to use as bail money or, anything like that.
Yeah.
But
evidently, this is a relatively common thing because there's like deadly booby traps found on hiking trail. Man convicted of setting booby traps to kill cops, firing bazooka at police station. It's like, what?
Yeah.
But we're not going to talk about all that. But yeah, and if you looked at his Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, I'm sorry, the Raise the Lost Ark, the first one, the big stone ball. I like how he had his just random hot tub laid up on its side.
yeah.
Like, So if you hit the tripwire, that hot tub starts rolling at you. What are you going to do? Oh, no, I'm going to step to the side, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay. Oh, no, my computer. No.
Oh, we got 17 windows open.
No, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5
Control,
open.
Alt, Delete.
Yeah, if that worked.
Maybe.
So,
Booby traps.
but, yeah, the only thing this is actually something I wanted to bring up,
What?
but it won't work. So, we were trying to find some more paranormal stuff to talk about today, and with the rush of it being Halloween season, a lot of our search results are going awry because it's not about a haunted house or a new ghost sighting. It's
Buy a costume.
or check out this haunted forest thing that's $18 a ticket,
Yeah.
or spooky pumpkin patch. So finding some legitimate paranormal news has been a little hard. This one thing I wanted to talk about actually goes into something I want to eventually turn into maybe a fuller podcast about, and that's that board holds off paranormal group for now. And this is in Winnebago County. Basically, there was a place that started off as a hospital, then it was converted into a county jail, and then residents voted to shut it down in favor of a new, larger correctional facility, which is being built next to it. Well, now the ministers of the haunted want to spend a night in the jail to see if there's actually ghosts or spirits bound within the confines of the building, because it was a tragic hospital and then a jail and things like that. Well, the Winnebago County Board of Supervisors worked closely with Winnebago County sheriffs as to whether or not this project should commence or even be allowed. And this is something a lot of people don't think about when on these little ghost hunts. The major concern for this is health reasons. In some parts of this jail, there's a significant amount of mold in the building from rains getting into the walls.
Yeah.
Now, while utilities in the building are turned off or kept down to a bare minimum, that still means exposed wires. So you could walk into a room, step into a puddle, and get electrocuted because there's like downed lines.
Yep.
Another thing is the fact that there's so much mold, mildew, and basically old building materials like asbestos and stuff like that. It wouldn't be safe for these people to spend a whole night in there. And these people actually, they did the right thing. They went and asked permission from the county of Winnebago, and they're saying no. So until those safety concerns are addressed, they're holding off on the ghost hunt. Good on them. I mean, this sounds like a great investigation, but I think a lot of people, like, I was talking to somebody at one of my old jobs, and they're like, yeah, we're just going to show up. Property owner, he hasn't been there in like 2 years, but he still owns the place. He's going to unlock the gate. I'm like, so nobody's done a walkthrough. Nobody knows if there's homeless people camping in there. Nobody knows if there's nails all over the place or drug needles or mold or something like that. You're just going to walk in, sit down wherever, and do a ghost hunt?
Yeah, that's what they think.
Okay.
You know,
Good
tetanus
luck.
is something to worry about.
You know.
Falling through a floor is something to worry about. Rotted wood.
Yeah.
You know, all that like urban exploration stuff that people did like too. The urbex stuff. They're like, oh, that's great. We'll just go. It's all dangerous, man.
I love looking at those urban exploration pictures.
Little urban decay action.
Yeah, I love looking at those. I try to mimic some of them in my photography when I get the chance. But a lot of my stuff, it's in the daytime. I can see where I'm stepping. And that doesn't exclude me from bad things happening. I walked into some, like, tumbled over boulders and stuff up on the Sandia Mountains because there was an old cabin built in stone. Well, me and the dogs, we were hiking. I walk up onto that, and I start kicking over rocks. Next thing I know, I got, like, 2 rattlesnakes.
Well, you shouldn't be doing that.
You know, I kicked them over to get a good picture because people have been throwing weird rocks over there. But, you know, I got a good picture, but I had to wait for those snakes to clear out. If I was being careless, which I already was being careless, I wouldn't have even noticed those. Or if I was there at night, you know. And that's just one of those consequences that I don't think everybody who wants to get into the paranormal is aware of. And things like mold, that's a serious thing. It can affect your physical health as well as your mental health. So.
That's true.
Yeah. So just be careful if you're going to go ghost hunting.
You get tetanus and get lockjaw.
Yeah. So.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, what are you guys talking about? I was just looking at the chat.
I'm not sure what they're doing in chat. Talking about like Ninja Warrior. I think they're trying to figure out like the most extreme elimination challenge. Remember that show that it used to be called Yoshi's Castle.
Yeah.
Where they would run in like and they do the whole I like cheeseburgers and then they try to dance and it blasted with like It used to be I like that show a lot. But when it got sent to America it became most extreme elimination challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, I laugh so hard with that show. Sometimes it's amazingly funny. So people are like, you know.
Oh, you can also find it under the title Wipeout and MXC.
That's the most extreme elimination challenge.
So
it's like, I like cheeseburgers. And the next thing you know, they get shot in the face with a volleyball going at 100 miles an hour out of a cannon, you know.
Because there was also Keniku, Banzuke, Sasuke.
I seen a person get hit in the face with like a volleyball. They get shot from like an air cannon, and they did a complete flip.
You know how the things that swing at you, they're usually padded?
Yeah.
I saw one episode where it was only padded like 9/10 the way. So there was just this 1/10 that wasn't padded. It hit a dude in the face, and you saw one of the teeth fly out. And I'm just like, oh, no.
I like the one when they go scurrying across, and there's like a bunch of holes in a fist.
Yeah.
Like a boxing glove on a stick comes popping out. It's like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think...
I've laughed so hard watching that show, it cracked my back, and then it took my breath away, and I couldn't breathe for a while. So, yeah, great show. Yep. Most Extreme Elimination Challenge. So if you ever seen that, it's great. If you don't like that kind of humor, you probably don't like the Three Stooges either, and you're a savage. All right. So here we go. What else are we going to talk about?
That was pretty much it. I need to put that link in the show notes, but that's about it.
You want to do this commercial?
You do it.
Nope.
Don't we?
I did it last time. You did it.
No, you
All right, we're going to try to play this commercial. We like to support small businesses, and we'll see how this goes. All right? I got to find it. I don't even know where it went. Where did it go? Oh, no. Oh. Is that it? No, that's not it.
Special spotlight?
I don't know. I can't see. Oh. I don't know where it went. Remember this happened to us last time. We're talking about scary stuff. And then what happened?
I don't know.
It disappeared, remember? Mm-hmm. It's crazy. Let's see. Let's see if we can find it. There it is.
Okay.
All right. Let's try this again. Okay, so somebody that typically frequents our show, his name is Jay. He has a business. and we're going to help them out. So here you go. I'm going to play this, and then we'll talk about it.
yourwebdesigner.info. Here we make affordable custom websites for any business, projects, or promotion ventures you might be investing your time into. So let's make sure it's perfect. yourwebdesigner.info. For more information, call 858-683-3657. Thank you.
Now, wasn't that nice? That was like right to the point, wasn't it?
Yeah. And if you guys need that info again, you can always go to yourwebdesigner.info.
There you go. He's offering a discount on web design and web design package. So for $115 for the Creep Geek listeners, you get your web page, right? Domain name, free month of hosting, and then it's like $5 a month after that.
Oh.
Yeah. And so if you contact them, then you kind of work it up because they can do your custom web design page, they can do a custom logo, and the free hosting is good. And plus, you also get unlimited tech support for your website because they have a ticket system. So you just submit a help ticket.
Yeah.
It's very nice. So there you go. Something to kind of take a look at. Because you know what? Anytime you can kind of work with another small business owner or micro business owner, you know, it's better, I think. So there you go. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So if you guys are listening to the podcast and you want to kind of get your feet wet somehow, maybe you want to do your own podcast and you want to create a page or have somebody create one for you, one that looks nice where you're not going to spend all day long trying to make your own personal garbage website, yeah, give them a holler. And I'll tell you what, this guy is a lot cheaper than Squarespace, which is what everybody wants to use.
Yeah.
So anyway, there you go. And so maybe if Jay's wants to submit a better commercial, maybe a little bit longer, you know, that kind of thing, we might even play that one too. So, yeah, there you go. So,
And I do want to...
he's all worried. Did you lose my stuff? Yeah. No, we found your 15 seconds, bro.
Yep. And I do want to basically say if you are a small business and you're interested in either a commercial or promotion on our social media outlets and the show, just give us a message. That's going to be what? contact@creepgeeks.com.
Yep.
Yep.
Or info@creepgeeks.com.
Yeah. You can also message us on Facebook. We'll get to you right away.
Yeah.
And that goes into something else I wanted to say. With it being October and spooky stuff just being... everything is hashtagged spooky, and if you try to do a search or research for a podcast and try to find spooky stuff to talk about, it's kind of hard. So if you have a local story or news tidbit about where you live or something you've seen in the media that you want to talk about or want us to talk about, send us that information. We'd love to talk about some stuff that our fans bring to us.
Yeah.
So, and I do want to say, if it's a good enough story, I might just be sending you a sticker. Yeah.
Oh,
Or maybe.
a whole sticker.
Yeah. Or maybe a new Creep Geeks button.
What?
Yeah. So.
Man, the wind is really picking up. It's blowing stuff all over the place.
Yeah.
Which you guys probably can't hear.
So.
Yeah. You know, and if you guys have something you want to share and you want to call and leave a message, you can certainly do that. You can call our phone number and leave a message we want to answer. And we'll play it on the show or not. It's purely up to you. And that phone number is 575-208-4025. You know, some people call and they kind of think it's awkward. And they're like, am I on the show? Yeah. Turn your radio down, right? But yeah, so that works. So yeah, and you know, we're all about the small business stuff because, you know, we're just kind of doing this for fun, but it's sort of migrating into something a little bit different. So any way we can help you guys, we will, because we do appreciate you listening to us. So yeah, there you go. How's that?
Oh.
Very nice.
Yeah.
All right, you got anything else you want to talk about?
No, just going off that whole, we want you guys to submit stories. Like, I was trying to look now because you were doing a lot of the research this morning.
Yeah, it's tough, man, because you brought up an illustrated a point that started angering me today because everything I looked at was like, come to our pumpkin patch. You know, where else can you go and spend $25 on a pumpkin that you can get for like $3 at the supermarket, right?
Yeah.
You get to walk out into a field and pick one up. And you know what? You know, here's when I lost all respect for those pumpkin patch things.
Yeah.
They don't even grow them.
Yeah.
Most places get them sent in by a truck, and they just like put them out in the field and you just run around there and pick one.
We actually have one right near the hospital, and they are all trucked in.
Yeah, they trucked in a pallet from the grocery store, right,
Yeah.
where they're like $2 or $3. They just kind of spread them all out there and charge you $25.
$7 to $20 for a single pumpkin. But Yeah, like I was trying to do some research. Apparently, we've got some paranormal investigations starting in Taos, New Mexico, as well as Santa Fe.
Yeah.
But there's not enough details about those. And then the only follow-up is that the director of the Sunspot Observatory isn't sure why the feds flooded in. That's all the article says.
Like, why were the feds there? I don't know.
Yeah, so, yeah. But it's been kind of a bland week as far as haunting stuff, and I'm kind of disappointed because it's October. What are you laughing at?
In the comments, I talked about the pumpkin thing, and then my oldest is like, "It's got to be the right one, Dad." and then Katie is like, "Look, you just look like somebody like you broke the news about Santa." I apologize if you weren't aware that they were trucked in and then placed out there.
Yeah.
Now, some are grown, and that's, at the end of the season, they plant all the pumpkins, and then they grow. And by autumn, which is now, then they're about ready.
My dad...
But if you did not know that, I apologize.
My dad used to help out on a farm for his church, and the worst was we'd have to pull up the blackberry and strawberry fields in Pungo. Well, one time somebody tried to leave the pumpkins for fall so that you could go out into the field because the field was closer to the road.
Yeah.
And seriously, by the second week of September, nearly all the pumpkins were destroyed by critters.
Yeah.
So he had no pumpkins to sell.
Yeah.
Because that's what you have to do. You have to pick them early, hold on to them for like a week before you can start selling them.
Yeah.
You can't just magically leave the pumpkins in the field and hope that... the critters won't get them.
Yeah, because they will.
Yeah.
They certainly will. So.
Yeah.
Very nice. Yeah. Yep.
Yes. Pungo strawberries. So.
Yep.
I used to have to pull up the fields that they grew in. Yeah. Nothing like pulling up a tarp because they grow out of tarps and finding a big old copperhead.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's babies.
No.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
Not for me.
So, but yeah, with fall coming and spooky season coming, like I'm telling you guys right now, I went through, I think I'm on page 3 trying to find some paranormal stuff to talk about, and Greg spent all morning just trying to come up with topics today.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it is what it is. We typically do more than that. I mean, as I'm perusing the internet, when I come across something cool, I save it. But we really haven't found anything cool. What we have been doing is we've been working on the albino rhino, adding some sound isolation and vibration isolation to sound deaden it so it doesn't sound like a trash can when we're going down the road. And that does help add a little bit of insulation there. So we've been doing that. We're going to put a window in. We're going to install the cabinetries and all that stuff so we can get the camper van going. So we can take a trip because we've been kind of putting it off, and we have a bunch of other stuff to do, like packing and all that jazz. So kind of is what it is. But we're getting to the point where we're about done with the podcast.
yeah.
So we do appreciate you listening and taking the time to join us on this Sunday. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, where can they get a hold of us at?
They can get a hold of us at contact@creepgeeks.com.
Yes.
Just put attention Greg or Omi in the subject line. You can also reach out to me. That's Omi@creepgeeks.com or Greg@creepgeeks.com. We do recommend you use the contact email for any business-related inquiries.
Sure.
All music in this episode is licensed under the Creative Commons by Attribution 4.0 license or the Creative Commons by Attribution 3.0 license. All music is credited in the show notes for the podcast. And I do want to recommend, if you are interested in Creep Geek swag, either message us if you're interested in stickers or buttons, or check out our Teespring shop. I'm putting a link to that in the comments right now.
Yeah, you can find like this Bigfoot logo and put it on a sweatshirt or a t-shirt or something. Some of you guys have actually done that.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. Very nice.
Oh, oops, I dropped something.
What?
So, yeah.
What was that?
One of your daughters just brought up puck wedgies.
Oh, yeah, we got to talk about that.
Yeah, because don't they happen in Virginia
I don't know.
and the East Coast?
Do they?
Yeah,
Huh?
they do.
Well, we will do some research and we'll talk about that. So anytime you guys want to submit something or throw something out there for us to talk about, let us know. We will talk about that on the next podcast.
Yeah.
We'll put a little note. Put a little note. Here. I'll do that so I don't forget.
Okay.
There you go. Old Pud Wookiees. Very nice. So, yeah.
Huh.
What?
No, I was just giving you a link.
Okay.
Oops. So.
Doom, 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 doom. Look at her yelling. We have a picture. We've seen it. Pull it up on the screen. I can't. Where have you been for the past hour? I said, I apologize. We are getting everything set up to go do this live, and the event got put off to a different day. Where have you been? We synced it. Where did you sync it? Okay, I will put it up on the screen for the future podcast. All right, I will do that. So in our next podcast, because I will get my daughter to send it to me, I'll make sure I have the screens up and running and we can see the Bud Wookie.
Oh, gosh.
Yes.
You're so bad.
What is it? It's like, pull it up on the screen. Like, don't you yell at me. All right. So anyway, we've been going about this for a little bit. We're going to go ahead and, we mean outside Max's room. Max is my nephew. Really?
Yeah, they told me that story. They thought it was one of your mom's little angel things, and no, it was a puckwudgie.
I still think in the Smoky Mountain area and the Pisgah National Forest and all that stuff, aside from getting a lot of Bigfoot sightings and all that crap around Boone and Marion and all that junk, little people have been sighted there a lot.
Well, they've been...
So...
I spent a good part of my childhood towards Pungo, and I thought she was actually talking about Pungo puckwudgies because...
Well, they're supposed to be all over the place, so it's more of a... If I remember, an East Coast thing versus a West Coast thing. But there are some places and some native tribes that actually refer to them. So, I don't know. We'll have to do a little bit of research.
Because puckwudgies in Virginia love pumpkins and they love squash and they like to steal them.
Yeah.
So, you would steal, they would steal them and then you'd find like half a pumpkin floating in the river or in a creek.
Yeah.
And that's where it turned it into a house or ate it and fell asleep and dropped into the lake, that type of thing. So.
Yeah, I mean, they like the good stuff like, like Kitten says, like strawberries and gourds, like watermelon, squash, gourd fruits and stuff like that.
This particular puckwudgie wanted to steal your nephew, which kind of goes into the realm of changelings.
Yeah.
Changelings definitely want to steal people.
Changelings, little people, the fae folk in general, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's all over the world. It's not just like in one spot. But yeah, we will definitely talk about that because I think that's an episode we need to do where we talk about different types of fairies, fae folk, all that stuff. So, yeah.
Apples, yes, they love apples. So, yeah.
Yes. And youngins.
Yeah.
So
those are some good stories to... And one of our listeners, Steve, is like, bye for you guys, or bye for you youngins.
Yeah. So, yeah, and that's, okay. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
He said, I don't like it when your dad stays up and leave the lights on because I can't get you.
Oh, that's spooky.
Ooh, it is spooky.
Yeah.
There's something to be said about leaving the lights on. It does give you that. And that's the thing. If you ever want to protect yourself, leave a light on, get like 7 blankets. They can't get underneath 7 blankets. So,
7.
We have a message. Let's see if we can show this in the chat. No.
Yeah.
Basically, it's just a cuss. Very nice. All right, we're going to take a second to wrap up the podcast. For those of you who are still listening and paying attention and watching us on YouTube, stick around because we're going to hang around and talk for a while.
Yeah.
So, anyway, there you go.
Bye.
Bye-bye. There it is. bicycle.
Okay.
What?
Oh, we have a question.
Well, what is it?
How did you come up with the song?
Which song?
Well, I'm assuming it's.
Are you
that
talking to
closing
me?
Song. No, it's in the comments.
This song?
Yeah, probably.
Or that song?
I like peanut butter. I like peanut butter. Peanut butter.
It's catchy.
Peanut butter.
Yeah.
Number one
I
on
like
iTunes.
peanut butter. I like peanut butter. peanut butter. I like peanut butter.
You know, the peanut butter song has been around for a long time. I did a video a long time ago because I have a YouTube channel. It's the Cheap Geek YouTube channel. And bought some. I like these. They had Dollar General, or I'm sorry, not Dollar General. Dollar Tree has these little solar, at the time, flowers where it has a little tiny little solar panel on it, and you know the sun hits it and it makes a little flower dance.
Yeah.
And I like them. I thought they were really cool because it's all solar. It's the most advanced, stupidest, cheapest toy you can get.
At Dollar General, no less. Yeah.
Because the solar panel itself is connected with a wire, and the wire is actually connected to a magnet. Okay? Mm-hmm. So effectively what it is, the solar panel turns it into an electromagnet. There's a magnet on the bottom of it. It has the same polarity. So those magnets fight each other because of the sun. The sun makes the first or top magnet into an electromagnet. The bottom one is already there. And when it does all this stuff, it makes the flower move. It's like the most advanced, dumbest dollar toy you could buy.
But the flower's a little dance.
Yeah. And so I did a video on that, and I don't know where it came from. I was watching it dance, and it just seemed to dance to what popped into my head was peanut butter. So I sang the little peanut butter song, you know, the I like peanut butter, that kind of thing, and did the video. And then some people liked it. Most people hated it. So I'm like, I'm going to put that in the beginning of every one of my Cheap Geek Creep Geek videos. So almost, 670 videos later,
Yeah.
there it is. And I've heard that song in places by people I didn't even know ever seen the channel. I've heard strangers, you know, mumbling it. So anyway, it's kind of like one of those things that gets stuck in your head, you know.
Yeah.
And the second version of it, which is done somebody made for me because they liked it. They liked the peanut butter song, and it got stuck in their head, and they kind of did a remix for me, and that's the second version of it. So, you know, sometimes I get people saying, you know, I really like that song. It's great. What's the rest of the words to it? How can I get that as my ringtone? That kind of thing. And other people were like, I freaking hate you, man. That song's been stuck in my head. Because that was part of it, too, was to figure out, like, okay, well, you know, I kind of wanted to make an earwig,
Yeah.
and that was it. So there you go.
Here, I'll share the original with people who haven't seen it. So, 2011.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, that's where that came from, and I like it. And some people get mad. It has nothing to do with anything that you're doing. Why does it? You know, it's like, you know what? It doesn't matter if you understand it or get it. I like it. Sadly, if I really honestly want to put it on iTunes, it needs to be about 12 seconds longer.
Really?
Yeah, and then I can put it on iTunes.
Oh gosh.
So, yeah. And I've had people ask me in the past, like, hey, can I license that? I'm like, no, you can't license that. So, yeah. And then I've had people on YouTube contact me and say, did you know that people were using your video and your peanut butter song somewhere else? And I was like, I did not know that. And I've even got where somebody tried to do a copyright strike against me saying that I copied the peanut butter song.
Really?
Yeah. And I sent them back a message, I'm going to burn you with the heat of 1,000,000 suns. Because it's my song.
It's your song.
So, yeah.
I'd be so mad. So
there you go.
yeah.
So somebody says maybe you can sing those 6 seconds for iTunes, Amy.
I'm not. I have no.
I'm working on some words for it, like like crunchy peanut butter. You know, I'm going to add some stuff to it.
I can't sing.
Yeah. There is an R-rated version. You
Yes.
just add an F-bomb in there somewhere.
I have no expressive talents, so I am unable to sing. I can't dance to save my life. No
Yeah.
singing, no dancing.
That's right.
My dancing skills are the same as the solar toy. There we go. That's
all
me
you
dancing. Yeah. But
She does not give a crap. Look at she's
I
up here
know.
laid out. But I think she's comfortable though. She's got her hoodie on. And,
I also think me and her are having a very bad allergy day today. So,
you know, fix that, right?
chicken.
Peanut butter. I like peanut butter.
So,
Yes. And it is peanut butter,
yeah.
not penis butter.
So it looks like I'm
I like peanut butter, peanut butter. What? Crunchy peanut butter.
well, maybe Brittany can sing the extra lines. She's already got some lyrics for you. So,
What?
Yeah.
Are they inappropriate?
No, these are good. So,
I think she's just saying that she likes peanut butter, apple butter, and honey butter.
those could
There
be.
are lots of butter. Yeah. Almond butter.
Found out Pepper just likes plain butter.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's so you should go into the store and say, do you have any almond peanut butter? They're like, no. We have almond and peanut separate, not together. And you're like, don't judge me, man. So lots of butters.
Yeah.
I like peanut butter. All right, so that's pretty much, that's kind of where that came from.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Boom. Lots of butters.
Yeah.
Anybody else got any questions, or everybody just jet? We got 10 people watching. I don't think anybody's got any questions. Though.
No. Yeah.
A whole 10. Like Casey Kasem, right?
Yeah.
And today's... Okay, Steve makes a comment and says, I like Chinese banjo music.
Oh.
Well, good for you, man. There's your jam. I think I can make it sound better. Let's add some compression to it, make it sound wonderful.
You're killing me.
And some bass.
No. You just
But the remix. Yeah, nice bass rumble going on, like low tone. It sounds good in the headphones. Jamming.
okay.
I do like it. See, you normally can't hear the little bass rumble though.
I think Caitlin wants to give a shout out to whoever played the wood block for this song.
Yeah, they were not messing around.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I do like that one. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Okay.
But that's it.
Yeah. So we do want to ask anybody who is new to listening to the show, definitely join our Facebook group. That's CreepGeeks. If you just type CreepGeeks Facebook group into Facebook, join it, start some conversation.
Yeah.
Give us some show ideas, things like that. We appreciate it. Again, if you come up with a good news tidbit or something to talk about for the podcast and we decide to use it, you do get a free sticker as well as a free button from us.
Ooh.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
and we should kind of do that on the regular. So,
It's up to you.
especially, I mean, well, because it's October, like I was saying. I mean, 3 pages of search results before I finally got to
Yeah, I
anything
know.
paranormal. So, yeah.
This is the sounds of Saturn.
Okay.
Brought to you by the sounds of Saturn.
I'm going to cook dinner now.
Cooking dinner. Chicken.
Wow, it is.
There you go. Super scary, right?
Imagine if you use this as the background music for a horror movie filmed here. Like in Bisty Badlands or something.
Or Skinwalker Ranch.
Yeah, even worse. So.
I don't know when we're going to go to Skinwalker Ranch. It might not be allowed.
Yeah.
It's still well, technically it's private property, and they don't mess around.
So.
It's private property, and you're on the res. So if you don't have a reason to go, or you're not invited to the res, you're going to be in trouble.
Yeah.
A lot of them have the big signs that says, if you are not invited, or family, or have been invited, or escorted, you're not allowed on the res.
That's typical rules. So like
a lot of times they'll do a boundary where they'll have the reservation land and private land, and BLM will be in the middle.
Yeah.
To allow an easement to go through. But if you don't know where the BLM land is, then you're trespassing on one side or the other, and it can be. And
they will actually fine
awful.
You for both.
Yeah, so we have to kind of figure that out. But we're going to be in that area sometime, because that's the goal, is to go around and travel, and I definitely want to go out that way.
Yeah.
So, he's asking you a question.
Oh, I had no idea what she was talking about.
Those are coordinates.
Yeah. So let me find it.
Throw it in there and see.
So.
Yeah.
Huh. What in the world?
Scary.
Where is this? Oh, that's in the corner of Nevada. And is that?
What?
Wait, oops.
Why don't you put the coordinates in chat?
Yeah. Hold on, let me go back. So this is near Sheldon National Antelope Refuge. It's off of Interstate 140 in Nevada. And it is the closest thing to it is someplace called Denio Junction. And then right on there is a border for a place called Denio. I have no idea what this is. Andy's place.
Why don't you put the link in the comments so everybody else can look too?
Okay. There we go.
So we can all look.
Because I have to because it's Google, okay? So the link stinks. Shh. Well, you're telling me to do something.
Well, there you go. Because if
Here.
you just paste it and hit enter, it's going to look for you.
Yeah, and then when you go to go ahead and paste that link.
Why? You already did.
No, I did not.
Why are you arguing with me? Huh?
I posted the coordinates.
That's what I was asking. Now we can look.
So, there we go.
Here, I got the map up. Enhance.
It doesn't enhance down enough.
Enhance. Well, what's the point? Why are we looking at this?
I don't know. I don't know why we're looking at it.
Oh.
So what's special about this? All I see is a trailer and
Used to be
some trash.
No, it used to be a corral. It used to be a ranch. That's a corral over there.
Yeah, I see a corral, a dry riverbed, some other.
Man, look at all those deer trails.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Ooh. A cattle pond that's kind of gross, but it's way out there, and there is one road to it. Off of a forest road, I'm assuming, called 8A.
Oh, he says that somebody told me to check it out because it's creepy at night. Yeah, that's like everywhere out there is creepy at night.
Here's the thing. It looks like, okay, first, you're going to have to get off of, if I go here. this is some New Mexico style stuff, but it's Nevada.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to get onto Highway 140, and then you'll have to get off on a forest road or some sort of county road 8A, which breaks up and stops in certain points. And the closest house is, let's see, 20 miles away.
It just looks like a creepy ruin. That's all.
So.
But all that stuff is creepy, man.
Yeah.
All of it, especially at night.
I mean, you have
where we go in New Mexico, it's kind of like that. We've seen like old ruins or whatever.
Oh, there's old mining near it.
Yeah, it's all creepy. There's a sluice pond over there.
Yep.
So it's all awful.
Ew.
You don't want to be out there at night anyway. It's all super dark. It's like,
yeah.
Coyote.
So, if your buddy says it was on and off paved, I can tell the reason parts are paved is probably because of the mining that goes on to the northwest of it. That's why you've got some paved stuff. Looks like there's blast mining going on to the far north. But it means you're gonna have to deal with those rutted roads, which I hate. So
washboard's awful.
Washboard roads. Yep.
They call them corrugations in Australia. Corrugation roads.
Yeah. Maps.
Yeah, well.
But yeah, we have a place kind of similar to that. It's called the Ojito Wilderness out here. That place gets spooky at night and got some stuff going on.
Yes.
But I can't. It's not letting me link it. There we go. Yeah. That's about it. That's all I got.
I wonder if I can share this to you.
What is it?
It's a list.
Okay.
Of all the ruins. Share.
Okay.
And send. There you go. We have a list. I don't know if I can share it to everybody.
Yeah.
Well, anyway.
I'm not getting a notification, of course. So. Yeah.
But yeah, it's a list of ghost towns in New Mexico where you have there's a bunch of them, man. Like Quarries in there, Abo Mission's in there, Coronado Monument's in there, Bandelier, Pecos Ruins, Fort Union. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Jocko Canyon, Aztec Ruins, Gila Cliff Dwellings, the Puya Cliff Dwellings, Casmero Cliff, I can't say it, Cliff Dwellings, Salmon Ruins, or Salmon Ruins, depending on how you want to say that. Fort Craig, Fort Cummings, Fort Selding, Mongolan, Winston, Chloride, Loma Parda, Lake Valley, Stein, Shakespeare, Kelly, Dawson. There's just tons of them.
So you would need to change the permissions on this for me to share it to everybody.
Well, I don't know if I want to do that necessarily.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we have a list of local New Mexico ruins. So.
Yes. I don't know. Plus, there's a bunch of them too, like Unknown Ruins, Galenas Ruins, all that jazz. I think I can share it. I don't know. Share.
The biggest problem with exploring haunted mines, I'm talking about my little brother right now, isn't necessarily paranormal or wildlife. It is purely a safety issue. Some of these mines are maintained regularly. Like we have a mine out near us in the Ojito Wilderness, and it's a calcite and gypsum mine, which is very soft and crumbles and caves in constantly. So when it crumbles, it lets gypsum and other stuff into the air, which is bad for the lungs. You would need to make sure, even just approaching the mine, not even going in it, but approaching it, you had proper face gear on. I've heard stories of people investigating abandoned gold mines and having shafts fall in on them as they're walking in. And, you know, let's just say something bad does happen. These things go deep into the earth. You're not going to have cell phone signal. You can't count on T-Mobile to get you out. So, yeah. And hantavirus is another thing.
Yeah.
Apparently my little brother got hanta.
Bats, rats, mice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awful. See, because what it is, the poop doesn't go away. It just dries out and blows around.
Especially here in the desert.
Yep.
And then we have bats out here towards the west, an area called Grants, New Mexico.
Yes.
They've been weakened so bad by certain things like hanta and things like that, that now they have white mold syndrome or white nose syndrome, which is technically a fungal infection that's killing them off. So, and if they bite you, it could get into your skin. So,
yep.
I mean, as interesting as it might be to go into a mine, because a haunted mine investigation doesn't appeal to me. Going into a turquoise or a gold mine and finding some gold, I'm like, ooh, I want to do that. Safety.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, but I encourage you, if you have any urge to go visit that mine and that spooky place, make sure you have proper safety gear. So things like, you know, a way to pull your truck out, a winch, first aid kit, a real first aid kit, you know, stuff like that, and a means of communication, like maybe a spot
you need a
device.
shovel, you need a strap.
Yeah.
You know, you need chains, you need stuff that, because the thing about it is, if you are out, it depends on where you are, but what we notice about New Mexico is if you're ever out there and you get stuck, anybody with a truck is going to ask if you can, you need help.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is nice.
But
when you don't see anybody for days,
yeah,
there you go. So.
I mean, because they make devices for that. I know, since my little brother's in the military, he's probably familiar with them. But
well, I mean, yeah, but I mean, it's just an extraction kit.
I mean,
so you should carry that stuff anyway. A shovel's an amazing thing when you're stuck.
Yeah, because I've been looking at these satellite GPS messengers that you can do distress calls on, just in case. Because looking at that GPS coordinates that was provided, I don't see any cell phone towers anywhere near there.
Nope.
You know, so I would probably have something like these with me. So, and he got chased out by a rattlesnake. When we first moved here to the desert, that was the thing that bugged me the most. Within my first 2 months here, I literally saw at least one snake every other day.
Yeah.
And out of all those snakes, I can count on one hand how many weren't venomous. That's the spooky thing. So, I mean, I think it was like 4. So, yeah. I don't like all the venomous snakes out here. So.
Me either.
Yeah. And then Steve's like, I see, he looked at the coordinates too, because Steve knows what he's looking at. Yeah. He's like, I see Catnip Mountain, I'm in. I'm like, okay.
Very nice.
Yeah.
For the bats.
Yeah. All right.
Cool. Storm's here.
She's got her back to everybody again.
Yep. She's like, I don't care anymore.
Is that thunder?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's that weird thunder and lightning stuff too. All right. So anyway, thank you very much for sticking around and talking to us for a while. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up because we got about a 2-hour stream going on here. So yeah. We're going to do this again on Sunday. There's Pepper. Look at her spinning around in her little chair. She's like, all right. Very nice. So, Brittany, love you. See you later. Caitlin, love you. See you later. I'm not going to say I love you to Helena. See you later.
Bye.
So, yeah, if you guys have been watching and tuning in, very much appreciated. We're going to do this again on Sunday. This is what we do. So, yeah. Anyway, thank you very much, everybody, for watching. See you later.
Yep.
Take it easy.
Bye.
Bicycle. Big storm's coming.
Yeah.